If you think that Sam Bankman-Fried's dramatic fall from grace couldn't get any more bizarre, buckle up, think again. We're about to share some more bizarre details about Bankman-Fried. According to Going Infinite, a new book on the former CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried once sent his on and off girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, an extremely unsettling pros and cons list for why she should be in a sexual relationship with him. So, you ready for it? Let's start with the cons. One of the cons reads as follows. In a lot of ways, I don't really have a soul. Well, I mean, that is telling. That's candor.
At least we could say that, some level of self-awareness there.
Totally. He continues though. There's a pretty decent argument that my empathy is fake, my feelings are fake, my facial reactions are fake. I don't feel happiness. What's the point in dating someone who you physically can't make happy? Agreed, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think most people would agree with that sentiment. So he's right as a con. That's a legitimate con.
Yeah, but I like the admission here because I'm sure it'll be handy for the prosecution into FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried's alleged crimes in regard to that. You know, the misuse of depositor money and all of that. Now, that's already bad enough, what we've shared with you, but that's not even the end of the cons list. He also says, well, quite a bit. So the list of cons included concerns about the power dynamics in their relationship. Ellison at the time was serving as CEO of another Bankman-Fried company, Alameda Research, along with his lack of empathy and history of getting bored and claustrophobic. Bankman-Fried said that he was also torn over his drive to stay at work for 60 hours straight and not think about anything else versus spending time with Ellison. Hot.
Good old work-life balance is something that he couldn't embrace, obviously, as he was running an international
as he was misusing
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, work. That's work for Sam Bankman-Fried.
It's work for most bankers.
Seriously. All right. Well, let's move over to the list of pros. Right? He lists the negatives. He lists the positives. So what's going on here? So in a shorter list, note that it was shorter, entitled Arguments in Favor, Bankman-Fried said the pair had shared interests. He enjoyed talking with her and listed, I really like effing you, twice.
Okay. Oh,
all right.
Well,
Bankman-Fried lied about many things, but apparently the last part was in fact true. Michael Lewis, the author of Going Infinite, writes in his book, Caroline wanted a conventional love with an unconventional man. Sam wanted to do whatever at any given moment offered the highest expected value, and his estimate of her expected value seemed to peak right before they had sex and plummet immediately after. That's some good writing there.
Wow. Michael Lewis, the OG. Yeah, I mean, he liked porking her. I guess that was the only thing.
Don't say porking.
That's the only thing that he enjoyed.
I don't like, yeah.
It's the bonus hour. Come on.
It is.
We can speak in the parlance of Sam Bankman-Fried. That's what
you can't say he enjoyed making love to her because that's not what.
That's clearly not what was going on with that relationship. But he loved having sex with her.
I think he just liked having sex and getting his rocks off. Like,
yeah, I mean, as most people do, but like, I don't know, he thinks he was special in that regard, maybe.
So look, I want any of the guys watching this right now who think like, see, this is the problem. Women like trash guys. They don't like the good guys, they like the trash guys. Hold, okay? Because Caroline Ellison is an exception. And what do I mean by that? Well, there are some issues with her because she ran a Tumblr account called World Optimization. And while Ellison has never confirmed that the account was hers, there are a lot of reasons to suspect that it was in fact hers because the most convincing piece of evidence is that in March of 2021, World Optimization announced that they had created a Twitter account, okay? That account, Caroline Capital, AKA Caroline Ellison, it was her Twitter account. She tied her Twitter account to the Tumblr page that she denied running. Okay, now with that said, what did we learn from that Tumblr page about Caroline Ellison? She writes, here are what I think are some cute boy things. Controlling most major world governments.
Oh my God.
Being responsible for many important inventions and scientific discoveries. Spatial reasoning abilities, Cenk's out. Low risk aversion. Sufficient strength to physically overpower you, which I'm gonna admit I'm kind of into, but but the other stuff not so good, not so good.
I love the idea that a cute boy thing was dominance of foreign governments, which I'm sure is part of the spiel this guy was giving her when he was making, nice donations to the Democratic Party of all people and having audiences with them, right? That's what these donations are for.
Yep.
It's to peddle influence. And so when you can
100%.
credibly be like, look, I wrote a check to these jokers and now look, they're dying to have me over. They're dying to do this. They're dying to get more checks. They're dying to figure out what we're doing with this crypto thing. He could credibly say that was true. Now, I wonder how successful he might have been abroad. I feel like a lot of countries wouldn't go for this because there's just steps in place to where some clown from Silicon Valley can't just come in and start peddling influence.
Right, start calling the shots.
Yeah, in freaking Jordan or something.
Right.
Like it's not gonna happen that way. But I wonder who else he had contact with on the global stage.
I have no idea. And look, to be fair, this is just her Tumblr page expressing what she likes in men.
We're just guessing.
We're just, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that she found these qualities in Sam Bankman-Fried, although, I mean, it seems like she likes sociopathic people.
Yeah.
So, also, World Optimization enjoyed Larping for a pretty unsettling reason. So I'm gonna read you some of that. I like role-playing characters with a limited circle of concern. Think nationalist or speciest or just straight up selfish. I find it really satisfying to openly engage in those modes of reasoning because I feel like they're there in the back of my head all the time and it takes effort to ignore them and think about what the actual right thing is. Actually, it doesn't really take that much effort, okay? Like,
role playing a nationalist, or is she just like cheeseburgers mandatory for every single American?
Look, people have weird kinks and fetishes,
Sure.
And
this is a sex positive bonus hour.
Yeah, totally.
We don't judge.
Just gives you a little peek into what she's into. And then posts like that make you wonder if Ellison and Sam Bankman-Fried really were meant for each other though, right? If Sam Bankman-Fried treated managing billions of investors' money like a game, for Ellison, it might have been a LARP, each risk an exercise in playing a character in a scenario, calculating how far to go and what behavior could be justified. Maybe that's why she liked LARPing in the first place. As one Tumblr post said in 2018, the year Ellison took the job, I guess it's just fun to be a bad person for a few hours. Well, you're gonna be a bad person behind bars as a result of the crimes you've committed, allegedly, with running that investment firm.
Yep.
And misusing the money of the investors.
Yeah, but I think that what we learned too from this is that the system rewards these kinds of behaviors. Like they got pretty freaking far.
They did.
On this model that, ultimately we know was just a scam. They weren't these savvy investors. They didn't have these grandiose ideas about the future of economics and capital. It was just moving money from one account to another.
True.
That's it.
True.
And their ability to be sociopathic about this and to chase every single dollar, just nakedly, no matter what the ethics of it or the legality of it was, they were rewarded. These guys and gals got billions.
And not only that, I mean, with the cover of corporate media singing their praises.
Oh my Lord.
Right, so.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, I love it when people tell you who they are.
Yep.
Sam Bankman-Fried told us who he is, so did Caroline Ellison. Believe them when they tell you.
Has anybody ever in your life dating, maybe not written down a list, but told you a pros and cons list of dating them? That seems absurd.
That's crazy, yeah. No, look, I think that sometimes when you're dating, right, people will unintentionally communicate some of the cons. So I remember when I was in high school, I was like, let me date this Armenian guy. Let me try it out. Because my parents are like, I'll give Armenian guys a shot. Armenian guys are fine. It's just
the Armenians that you were running into just weren't for you.
No, it's not even that. And look, I know some people want to like twist this into something that it's not, but
that you're a self-hating Armenian?
No, not that. I grew up in a majority Latino community, okay? Sure. Like in elementary school, 95% of the people I went to school with were either Mexican or El Salvadorian, right?
Gotcha.
Like these are people that I grew up with, whose culture I loved and appreciated and celebrated. I like Latino guys, I just do. I always have, I always will, it is what it is. Like it's just my preference, I guess, it's what I'm attracted to. But anyway, I was like, maybe I'm being too close-minded when I was in high school. So I dated an Armenian guy for like a day because at the time I was in high school, but I was also taking like a full load of like college classes at a community college. And he was like, why do you even waste your time doing all of that? All you need to learn is how to bring my slippers when I come home from work. And I was like, major con, you're done. Yeah, no, I'm not the slipper fetching type.
Yeah, like you said, people will let you know what's not most desirable about them. I think I've found in my dating career, oftentimes a question that you'll get asked by a woman is, so what do you like about me? It's just praise me. Just sing my praises.
And you should.
Just unabashed, just do it. I just generally want to hear you sing my praises.
Totally.
So yeah, they don't actually provide the list. They just want you to say, all of the pros, lay them out right now. Just shower me with them immediately. So
don't we deserve it?
Of course, of course.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.